what's up, guys? So interesting market at the moment. I mean, look, you got a little bit of a flash crash. It does happen though. It's not, excuse me, not the like the. It could actually be a good thing to a certain extent. Oh, I know who. We got hack trades. Oh man, you know some crazy shit is about to go down when you got excuse the language, when you got hack trades in the hawk trade. What's up, Johnny M? So, yeah, apologies if I sound a little tired tonight. I just doing a Norwegian 4x4 workout at the park here. So, yeah, I mean, drink a little coffee to wake up, but I don't know why I find that so funny. I missed you, hack trades. I missed hack trades. Anyway, so yeah, I mean the main thing here is I know you guys want to hear about TA and not just listen to me laughing. So I mean, if you can hold kind of these areas, then we should be able to recover and hopefully hit all-time high. I mean this was a pretty deep kind of correction, probably just scare away some people trying to long really close to the old all-time high. There's going to be a lot of volatility around these points. I mean, I think that's pretty obvious. And there's probably going to be a lot of volatility from here until the damn end of this year, I would say. Even, I mean, well, I mean, you do see volatility always to a certain extent, except for usually like once a year in June when it gets really boring or whatever. This one not as bad, but I mean, I think there's gonna be a lot of excitement. Yeah, I think there's gonna be a lot of excitement. Bitcoin technically, yeah, Bitcoin just made a new all-time high and then nuked. So this actually looks a little scarier, but I feel like we're a little bit early to be peeking out. I mean, I did say the earliest I could see is kind of peeking out before a correction would be mid-August. So I mean, there is that. So I mean, it's possible. I don't think it's very likely that you're peeking out right now, but it's possible. So yeah. Okay. Appreciate you, Aquaman. Yeah, if you heard mixed reviews on the intro, that's good to hear. Just wanted to look at, yeah, everything's probably down a tiny bit. Yeah, a little bit of a flash crash here. Others versus ETH making a slightly new low. I have a feeling that's going to bounce relatively soon, though. The main thing is ETH making a new all-time high. That should bounce, but nope, just kidding. You were within probably 1 or 2%. Yeah, you were within 2%, and nope, not quite there, not all-time high. ETH versus Bitcoin trying to jump up. So ETH versus SPY trying to come back up to that's the thing, against a SPY, you're still down from those damn, March 24 lows. But I think she's got more momentum over the next few months. Yeah. Let's look at that. Let's look at some funding. I mean, the funding rates are cleaning up. It's looking a little bit healthier. I mean, there's going to be high fund. Yeah, I mean, people are trying to go long. There's going to be high funding rates. You could survive with a little bit higher funding rates for a couple weeks. Can you survive a month like that? I mean, less likely. You're probably going to get some type of correction within the next 4 to 6 weeks. So yeah, what's up, Josh? Well, it's evening for me. Appreciate you guys, but yeah. So that's ETH right now, and then a lot of the ETH alt evaluations have been coming down. Man, when you look at some of the altcoin evaluations versus ETH versus Bitcoin, they were just depressing, some of them. But yeah, it is a flash crash. I'll tell you that much. It is a little bit of a flash crash, but I think that I would take the optimistic route a little bit more. Cardano has been coming up more bullish. He didn't take the high. Interesting. It could be. You clean out the market early. Cardano, it was up to $1, now 92 cents. I think this is just a little liquidity grab. I think we should just keep going generally. Cardano was up to that, so you want to get in kind of that area there. What's going on, guys? Appreciate you guys. Everybody's just waking up here. Well, I mean, just thinking here. Bear market, yeah, it's all over, Giuseppe. Nah. I almost want to look at like NFTs or whatever, but I know those are probably not. I think we just got to wait a little bit longer. I think you could have at least a 2-week alt season here if ETH can get, within 12, I keep saying 12 hours, within 12 hours, that new all-time high or whatever. Yeah, I guess you could depress the hell out of all of us and just reject from here based on some of these bear divs. But I would argue these have already played out since you corrected probably like, 6% or something. 7% right there, so. And now you're back up. Yeah, so the alts really haven't. I mean, in terms of, unless you, other than like Cardano, Chainlink, alt's not doing too much. 46 for this. I mean, the thing is for this, I'm just curious, like what the average, like if you bought the ETH ETF, let's say around here or something, you'd be up 100%, not too shabby. So, yeah. Yeah, a lot of people ask me about SBET. We've talked about it on Paul Barron. Let me look at that again. I mean, the first thing I'll say is the sequel is usually always worse, but I do think there's potential. I mean, are you going to outperform ETH? Probably. If you got leveraged ETH, I mean, let's hope they're not doing anything shady we don't know about, though. I think it could jump up. I mean, let's see. That was the crazy high that we got to get back from May. So this is weird, man. I don't know if you're going to get freaking 400%, but you could maybe get 85, I mean, ETH does a 2x. Let's say ETH does a 2x from here. Let's be pretty optimistic. And I think that's pretty optimistic, 2x. Maybe it could do a 3x. Maybe it could go up to 10K. I don't think that's as likely, though. But, can just get like 200 or 300%. I think that's a decent shot at 200, up to there, 87, those highs. Let's see. Actually, cracks me. Do I hold any NFTs? Yeah. Let's see. Do you guys know what NFT I hold? There's one kind of expensive one. Yeah. No, it's one everyone knows. There's one kind of expensive one I hold. Not like nothing that's worth Yeah. Do you reduce positions? I don't know. I got profits locked in. I'm prepared for either way. So, I don't think it's over, man. I mean, that would be the most depressing thing I've seen in my life. And I mean, crypto is sometimes known to do that, but you don't quite make it. This is it. That's your situation. Like that's all over. I mean, no. I mean, I wouldn't even get that pessimistic unless you get a red dot here in that 3-week. The sad part is you probably have to go back down to 3,000 before you see that, or 3,500. I don't think you would lose 35 to 3,800. I really don't even think you'd lose 3,800, at least not until next year probably. Especially if you can keep going upward, which I think is pretty damn likely. I know. Oh, the other secret time frame, green dot in the 2-month right there. Just curious that, and then that was a big rally. That not too much, but normally that does play out. I want to look at it. I mean, I don't know if this is going to tell us anything too useful, but Kraken chart gives you everything for ETH, and okay, not even. But this was okay. Yeah, big jump there, big jump there. That was only dud. This one should work out, and I could easily see us coming up to 7,400 from that. Why not? That's kind of what I'm looking at. No, I'm optimistic, guys. I definitely am optimistic. Well, I'm sure there's got to be. Yeah, there's a nuts coin, of course. Nuts. Of course. Yeah. There's a few other. This one, the funniest meme coin I've ever seen in my life was Bitcoin 2. Whoever came up with this was a genius. And it's not doing half bad. I mean, it's above October 23. This is done probably. Let's just compare this to freaking. This is done better than Matic. If you bought this at any point, this is done better than Matic. Bitcoin 2. let's look at Bitcoin 2. Is it Bitcoin? Yeah, Bitcoin 2 versus Polkadot. You know, just it's done generally better than Polkadot over the last year. But yeah, we'll see what happens, guys. I mean, I don't know. I can't tell you what's exactly, you know. It could be. This could be the start of the correction. I don't know. I think. Well, let's do a little TA for a potential any trade. You know, let's look for longs and shorts here. Mainly just longs, because you know. Come on, load. 30-minute deep anchor wave. I mean, you could try to you could try to long that up. I mean, that's not a. Don't need to probably be a genius to realize that potential trade setup. But yeah, I don't know. I guess if we reject from here, it could get a little bit scarier. I mean, there's going to be volatility. Profits on 60%. Better safe than sorry. Eat the 4K. Maybe. Probably not, though. Probably not yet. I guess you kind of are in the danger zone since you're like you got so close to the old all-time high. You know what I mean? Like we rejected kind of from that high right there. You know what I mean? Like I guess that's somewhat of a significant point. Right there. Yeah. But I still think you got, you know, you should be able to probably keep going. Like I took look at the amount of profits I took in my position. So I mean, it's, you know, is tomorrow Friday? I think. Yeah. If it holds this far, yeah, that's true. I would agree. If it loses the spiral line, not as good. Yeah, I think more of the bearish things have probably played out. You know. It's doable. 5K is that's probably not gonna have 5K. New all-time high is doable within the half hour. What's up, JD? Oh, you remember that. Gold versus I think gold should come down, but I'm kind of indifferent. Solana we should look at. Yeah, a little drop down, but you hit it. You should be able to hold, I would think. I've seen this so many times before. You know, sometimes it loses the lows. You know, sometimes it recovers. It's hard to say, man. You know. Yeah, that run made me a little bit tired. Got the yawns. 3,000 right there. And by the way, guys, if you're interested in trading, check out BloFin, BidFi. I mean, BloFin, you get the 20% cash back off your fees for life. Same with BidFi, 20% cash back off your fees for life. Up to 100K deposit and trade bonus. BidFi, 10K Bitcoin bonus. Let's see what you have to 100 million trading volume to get the 10K worth of Bitcoin. So that's cool. And then 100K bonus as well. So it kind of similar on a lot of these. You know, 25% of your fees for life on Bitunix. So yeah, check them out. Pinned comment is for BloFin. And remember, if you sign up to any of those exchanges, deposit at least $100 and open support ticket in the Discord with your UID or email. We'll give you 1 free month in there. So yeah. I think there's, you know, obviously still, I mean, there's theoretically always, you know, opportunities to make money in the market. You know, it's just more volatility times are generally the easier times. I mean, just staring at this, hoping it's going to go up or down, a little tricky, you know, not the best situation, but, you know, how could you trade this? I mean, the trigger wave kind of forming on the 90-minute, you know, I think the long position makes a little bit more sense if you were to try to go up to all-time high and then, yeah, just get a nice 2 to 1 or something. I mean, kind of bet that we don't, lose that area, that kind of those wicks or whatever. That I think may work. So yeah, that I think may work. I think we just got a little jump higher too. Yeah, that'd kind of be my view here. Yeah. I think we tried that with Angie. I've done it with 8cap a little bit. I don't know if there's any like good. People have asked me about that. I don't know if there's any like good crypto trading one that you could integrate there. The people are coming back. I mean, people are back, guys. People are coming back because ETH is at a freaking almost new all-time high. And the people coming back should bring it. Should bring this upward right now to a new all-time high. I would argue. I would say. So yeah. You're on target from ETH from 4,700. Yeah, sure. That's kind of been my target. So yeah. Unless it's already all over, but I don't think that's the case. So yeah. I mean, once we get altcoin season, Cardano's easily at $2, I think, and hopefully more. We'll see what happens. It's a big question here. What Cardano could do. I know some people have been talking about Litecoin like a little bit more than usual. I could see that jumping up to 250 or so, maybe a double. I think your average coin's probably going to do a double, if not more, maybe a triple. If you look at what others could give you, I mean, we're right at, right around there. That's a double up to that point, maybe even up to 1 trillion. I mean, if you get up, that's really momentous. If you can, the separation is big here, so based on previous cycles, that's momentous. If you can get to momentous. Is that even a word? Momentous if you can get up to those highs. Current strategy. I mean, there's a bunch of strategies, man. It's not that like black and white. I got a lot of them in the course. If you're interested. Oh, Mike. Okay. We can make it higher. I'm just not talking into it, high enough at the moment. I'll put it up a little bit. A couple more. All right, it's up a little bit higher now. It's when I talk into it more, I'm too far away from it. It's more the issue than the gain. But yeah. Let's see here. Jump up right there. Oh, bullish stock? Yeah, I wasn't really taught. I'm not too familiar with that. I'm not. You know why I'm not going to bother? There's just not enough data on it. I don't know anything about it. I mean, there's a few. There's a lot of new stuff. But we'll see what happens. I mean, the core weave is the other, more of an AI situation here. But that came down back to these lows. I don't know on this. I mean, I think maybe, what makes sense in a lot of these cycles, even for these to a certain extent, is like in a year, it would probably be a really good buy. I'm curious too about, I don't know if this is gone, what could possibly happen with this, but just very lackluster, obviously. What was that other one? I remember some Uber driver told me about this one. He was telling me it's like, no, it's not going back to 4. It was back, he was telling me about it like over here or something, yeah. It was at 11. No, it's not going back to 4. It did go back to 4, unfortunately. Sucks for him. He was bearish on Bitcoin at those points because of Charlie Munger. That was actually his reasoning. So I don't know. I mean, but heavens to the best of us. I don't claim to maybe YLX strategy. I don't know if it's the same one that I know of, but yeah, 4 or 5 ELXs on any time frame. Look for a potential, long setup. I mean, not too much more than that. But they could just go, 4 to 5. I mean, here could be a bullish scenario, but it's very macro. Speaking of things, PayPal. Most used strategy. A lot of it's just SR and trigger points, man. I mean, and looking at it overall, you know, objectively. But yeah, a little bit of traditional TA. So it's not really, there's not really one particular, you know, thing. When you've been doing it as long as me, it just comes natural, you know. I'm not really, that's a good potential jump up here. So, nah, I think everything still looks pretty strong. I mean, I just want to look at others because when, you know, the thing here is like, can you get up to freaking, yeah, you could probably get up there by the end of October, maybe. Maybe. If the stars align, and it looks like they might, you might be able to get up there. I just want to zoom out a little bit more. Yeah. And based on previous, that wouldn't even be as, that's the thing too, like a lot of these moves happen quick. That would be like that. I mean, that was the end of it there. Also kind of like that. So it's not impossible. Definitely not impossible. That's October 12th and some things. So, yeah, I mean, moral of the story here, if you can wait 2 more months, could be some good light at the end of the tunnel. I'm just looking at this here. Yeah, that potentially. There. How do I set my stop losses? Below swing lows a lot of times or other things to get a 2-to-1 risk reward ratio that I like. I mean, that's, you know, they're kind of questions that you'd have to really, you know, they're questions that take a while to answer, but yeah. That does look like it should jump up farther. But yeah, we got a lot of, I feel like I just want to look at fear and greed because we're getting a lot of, I mean, I've been posting a lot, so we're getting a lot of, you know, obviously new, you know, people and all that, but, you know, fear and greed. I mean, it feels like back in 2010, or 2021, in some ways. But new people do bring up the market, I think, when they first come in. So greed is coming higher. I don't know here. My guess is that this should shoot up as soon as ETH makes an all-time high, but maybe you don't really see it for 2 more. I don't know how long this is going to take. I feel like this should finally jump up to extreme greed, and then you'll get your pullback, but we'll see. I mean, it could be a little bit more extended. It's hard to say exactly. But yeah. Always appreciate you guys smashing the like button. Quite a turnout today. I don't know here. I mean, I feel like I almost want to wait. Like, if I were to do something, I would probably try to long upward. Maybe on that 90-minute trigger, try that, you know. Bullish cactus. The Nightshade came. Shout out to Nightshade for that. He came up with that. Can't believe I'm seeing what I'm seeing with my eyes. Oh boy. Oh boy. Man. Life is crazy. Wow. Okay. Well, I wonder if it's really possible for Bitcoin to like go to zero in our lifetimes. You would probably need that main wallet to get moved, which I don't think it will. And even if it did, like maybe quantum computing, but that's so far away. And even if that does happen, I mean, there's going to be new security measures put in before that could take everybody's Bitcoin, I think, you know. There's that. I mean, there's always going to be certain fear things. I don't think it's really, oh, did we just have... Oh, whoa. Oh, now I know exactly what. Okay, how did I miss this? Okay, so jobless claims weren't too bad, but PPI inflation came out pretty bad. That's why we dumped inflation. Oh my, wait, that's why hold on a second. I am so ignorant to have not. I'm surprised CNBC wasn't saying that. It didn't affect this too much. Maybe slightly. Man. What was I gonna? Oh yeah. Oh, we are dumping slightly now. It's not even really news, but that was yeah, much more. That's not. Yeah, it's not good. Decreased only slightly, yeah, because the odds are so high of a September cut. They're not gonna. That's the thing. Fed, why? Yeah, because they were like essentially. Yeah. It did decrease a little bit, but when you're that high up, I mean, I guess it's possible you could. Very unlikely. But we went from like, you know, highly unlikely to very, you know, we went from extremely unlikely to pause to, or extremely likely to get a rate cut to highly likely to get a rate cut in September. Now, call me crazy on this, but I kind of want a pause because the October one, then you could just use that as a damn sell signal in the Fourier cycle. So yeah, 60 is $1 million. When does Bitcoin go to $1 million? Probably like 20. Well, I'm trying to think. So if we're at, let's say we're at, you know, it hit 100K in 2024. You know, I think that 34, 44, 2044, I would say about 20 years, like in the 2040s, I would guess probably. 2040s or 2050s, I would think. Probably not in the 2030s. But yeah. My theory is that you'll see an 8-year bear market in the 2030s. I think the next cycle will be the last cycle. And then you're not going to see a cycle as good until the 2040s. I think you'll have a long bear market in the 2030s. I think a lot of stuff may go to zero in the 2030s. Like, I think NFTs may be just a relic of the past. I think a lot of stuff may get really washed away in the 2030s. I could be wrong. My theory is an 8-year bear market in the 2030s, and that's just brought up by history after a 20-year bull run. You know, so all this could be completely gone. This is the NFT I own. I have a mutant ape. I'm not doing too well. It's doing all right compared, better than it used to be. But, and its ETH evaluation pretty bad. Hopefully get back up to 4 ETH at some point, but So that's what I would think. I think a recession will happen probably in 2030 is my guess. I mean, this 4-year cycle thing is eventually going to blow up, but, I think that 2030 is probably going to be the recession, the early 2030s. Like everything will crash in 2030, and then like things will really bottom out in like 2032. But they won't really like come back up to new all-time highs and stuff until like the late kind of 2030s, like 2038. That's what I'm kind of thinking. The thing too, if you really look at like, who controls all the wealth and what's happening. So we keep seeing like, the thing that the Democrats are a little bit right on, they have no way to solve it really, or no solution more than anyone else. And they're funded by the people that are the top. Like essentially you're getting to a point where in like a few more years, I think 60% of the wealth in the world will be controlled by 5 people, 3 people. Income inequality is getting insane. Like the wealth inequality is getting actually pretty insane. You need something like a Great Depression type deal to change that. Like you need a serious you could argue crypto and Bitcoin and all that, and like if fiat goes to zero, but the problem is these top 3% have a lot of Bitcoin and stuff. I don't think that would really, these top 3 people or 10 people or whatever they control, have to, they could just buy up the big, it's not really, I don't know if that's good. I think you need something crazier. You need something more radical for that. And that's where that's what I think may happen in the 2030s. I think it would be, like, it's unlikely the crash would probably happen, in 2029, the exact 100-year anniversary of the Great Depression. I think it's more likely to happen in 2030. I think it's also kind of unlikely to happen in 2028 because 20-year anniversary of the Great Recession, I don't know if that's too likely. 2026, 27, I think it's possible that you hit a recession in 2026. That would be the earliest. Like, I think it's it's kind of a 4-year period where it probably could happen, you know what I mean? That it has potential, like from 2026 to 2030, and I think it's kind of on the ladder at that point. If you look at recessions, obviously 08, that was a recession. The next one after that was about 12 years later. It was COVID. That was that one. 2020. They happen every 8 to 12 years. 6 years. So you could argue 26. 6 years after COVID. I think that's a little early. 2028. I think that's also 8 years. 20, like I mentioned, 20-year anniversary of the Great Recession. I don't know. I don't think that'll happen. But 10 years after COVID, that's doable. 2030, I think, is more doable. What prices would you see at that point? Maybe a 400K Bitcoin, maybe even 500K Bitcoin. Probably 20K Ethereum, maybe even 30K Ethereum. And then you're probably going to crash at least 50% on all those. Maybe Bitcoin down to 200K, 150K again. Ethereum back down to 10K, Some areas like that, back 5 years back in time, which a lot of things do during bad recessions. Let's look at previous recessions, like how much things went back in time. S&P 500. Let's look at how much things went back in time. And this would be, I mean, this would probably be more so than Bitcoin going back in time, but there's that. So, it's like a COVID. This was a recession. You came back 4 years back in time. So, maybe come back down to, these highs that we're at right now in 2025. The highs of 2025, which would be maybe 7K ETH, 150K Bitcoin, come back out down to those areas in the next recession or depression. Here was even worse. I mean, you came back down to freaking 20 years, no, about 10 years earlier. You came down 10 years, essentially. I mean, to 10, 12 years you came down. That was a really bad one, though. I mean, it's like a previous crashes. I mean, this one, 1970, 74. You came back down where you were freaking, I mean, it depends how you want to. That was 74 to, you came back down 6 years, 10 years back in time. 10 years back in time. It's a bad one. Damn Great Depression. You came back down to the 18, you came down 34 years back in time. 34 years. 98 to 32, 34 years back in time. Now, I mean, so, damn, that damn Great Depression was a nightmare. That thing sucked. I mean, I guess it did. You could argue it recovered somewhat quickly, up to, kind of these points here, within 10 years, no, within like a couple of years. I mean, it took a while to even get that bottom, This was just like a slow freaking grind downward. So, yeah. $30 years back. I mean, where would if we were to go 30 years back in time, let's see. Let's just look at, if you were to peak out here in 2029, which is what I'm kind of thinking, and you were to go 30 years back in time, you're looking at what, 2009? Or no, you're looking at 1999. Yeah, 1999. Right there. Those kind of lows. Well, higher than those lows. You come down right there. That Gareth Soloway talked about these highs being retested at some point. Now, I mean, what kind of correction is that from there? 82%. That's depression era. That's depression. I mean, will that happen? I mean, probably not. They would print money. It would kind of. There would be so many things done to kind of prevent that, but could it happen adjusted for inflation? Maybe. I don't know. Yeah. Well, maybe we're coming back down to 4K. Sure. I mean, if you were to, what kind of correction is that down to 4K? 17. I think if you get down to 4K, maybe 3,800, 20% correction, then you'll have a green September after a corrected August. So we'll see what happens. The AI is taking over, although this is probably not AI. This is some like article, but yeah, I think that's a big place. Let's look at some. I don't think we're gonna hit it yet. I think it's gonna come up more before that happens. The 38, yeah, a lot of liquidations. I have a feeling people will start to think how Giuseppe's thinking and start to get scared, though, on the way down. And this probably will give a little bit more fear. And if we do come back down to 60 there, then if we do get a correction here, when you get to extreme greed, that's probably the end of the market. That's the thing, too. End of the bull run. This could be a little jump here. Keep your eye on the 90-minute, I would say, 90-minute trigger forming. And regular candles, not quite. When would that probably hit? I don't know. A couple hours. 5 hours or so. So yeah, there's that potential. I mean, the thing is, like, if you are thinking in the 2030s it's going to be a complete nightmare, I mean, what do you want to be in? I mean, you want to be in gold. You want to be in some bonds, maybe. International crap will probably get destroyed too, I would assume. It probably would even be worse for China's stock market or whatever. And then they would probably come out victorious as new world power, just like we did after our Great Depression. Cardano we looked at. I'll look at XRP first, I guess. I think it'll eventually jump upward. I think you're hitting support here, and you'll eventually jump upward. That got a bad correction, though. But now you're ready. The volatility is good. I like volatility, though. There's excitement. Gets people in the seat. More people coming in. Cardano, I think, is fine. Hitting these points, pretty significant. Wiped away some liquidity. Rinse, repeat, continue forward. Could continue forward here. I mean, if you want to look at the damn like 1 minute chart, I mean, there you go. Wait for that setup, tread along upward. But yeah, that's all good, Crypto Chef. I like the name, Crypto Chef. Respect. And by the way, guys, if you're interested in trading, check out BloFin. 100K deposit and trading bonuses, 20% cash back on all your fees, only with my link. BYDFI, 25% off all your cash back off all your trading fees with my link. And yeah, 100K waiting for you. Yeah. 100K bonus, and BYDFI as well is good. 10K worth of Bitcoin trading bonus. So check it out if you guys are interested. Always appreciate you guys. So yeah, and I'm trying to think what else I want to look at right now. So yeah, unfortunately, we didn't make the new all-time high for ETH yet. I think we still should. And even if we come back down to 3,800, that's okay too. I think you'll probably I think you'll make a new all-time high, then come back down there. That's kind of my guess. You know what I mean? Like, I think you'll come down there, but in a different order than what I've been, kind of saying. So yeah. I'm surprised you could hear that, yeah. In the city. You don't hear that too much, though. That building's kind of cool how it's lit up over there. Wonder if you guys could... Yeah, you guys could kind of see that, I think. That building's kind of cool. Could you see the background? You can see the city kind of cool here. But yeah, so trying to jump up there. It does look nice, man. It does look nice. Appreciate you, Lewis Takes Profit. Use Bitcoin. Man, you recovered a hell of a lot. I'll tell you that much. Back to where you were September 24. Not half bad. Considering. Considering the tragedy. You did make a higher low. That's good too. No, I'm not in Mexico, man. It's nighttime where I am. It's nighttime. It's nighttime. Yeah, there you go. There you go. My fellow Italian, he knows where I am. You're in Bali, right? I think he's in Bali. Yeah. Yeah, Giuseppe. I think Giuseppe's in Bali. I don't want to like dox people, right? I think he said that. I could be wrong. But yeah. Are you in Mexico, Aquaman? Mexico. Aquaman's not in Mexico. Yeah, it's still gonna probably be the cut in September. It's still probably gonna be. We'll see what happens. I mean, if we do dump into that cut, that's probably good. You probably want it because that would probably help us out. If you do dump into the cut, and then you'll probably get an altcoin season in October. You know, probably get a nice freaking rally upward in October if you do dump into that cut. I kind of don't think you will though. I think you're gonna make. Well, no, I think you. I hope you dump into that cut. I don't know when you're gonna dump into that cut, but I hope you do so. Maybe something like this. That's kind of my. If I had to guess here. You still could get 5,300 is doable, guys. I mean, you came this long, not to come this much more, and retested that. This is like the logic, basic logic here, basic logic, and that's into that damn cut. And what happens there? Up to that point, and then next cut, a nuke. Here's what's gonna happen. Here's exactly what's going to happen. No, I have no idea, but here's what I think could happen. And then much more elongated, whereas my bottom, yeah, much more probably there. Yeah. I mean, this bottomed early. That was interesting how early you bottomed here in June. So I guess it bottomed. Wait, that's weird how it bottomed so early there. A lot of degeneracy or something, but yeah, no, I think like that. And what correction would that be? Let's see. If we were to 74, I mean, I feel like it has to come down that much, you know. Unfortunately, you're probably going back to 2000 at least at some point, you know. So yeah, that's just my guess. Could be wrong, but that's just my kind of thinking. This I think should jump. Yeah, that's a nice reverse head and shoulders too. That should jump relatively soon, especially if you make the damn new all-time high, which you hopefully should. And this random line that I drew here is going to act as support. It's just draw random lines. They work, guys. Draw random lines. They work. I always appreciate you guys smashing the like button too, and yeah, check out BloFin. BloFin's one of the best ones to trade, and I think you do need to use a VPN in the US now. You should anyway, regardless. But ends August 28th. This promo, deposit and trade 100K bonus, up to 100K bonus, 20% off your fees for life. With my link, get it while it's hot. Bitunix great as well. 25% off your fees with my link, up over 100K worth of newbie benefits. And BYDFI 10K worth of Bitcoin, 20% off your fees with my link. Always remember, if you sign up to any of these exchanges, deposit at least $100 and open a support ticket in the Discord with your email or your UID. I'll give you one free month in there. So check it out if you guys are interested. Great community. A lot of all these trades, stop losses, entry points ahead of time. All swing trades that I post, Nightshade and KMAC do it a little bit different. They got some good stuff too, especially Forex on KMAC, and Nightshade's got a lot of good stuff too. 4K the bottom. I don't know, man. Maybe 3,800, but you'll probably hit a new all-time high before that happens. But I don't know. See what happens with this 90-minute trigger. 90-minute plus, like, I don't know. Look at that 6. Yeah. Come up a little bit. Yeah. Hmm. This does look like it may come down to 116. That's still That's still the place to hold, though. It's not that much lower. That's the thing too. Like, where would ETH come? ETH could have bottomed, and then Bitcoin, come down a little bit more. We'll see what happens, guys. I mean, I'm not that pessimistic. I mean, I think you got a decent shot of doing something here, holding up kind of well. So yeah, I think that's all I got to say for today. I mean, let's just look at is anything happening like CNBC or whatever. I mean, this is it's still very likely you're going to see a rate cut in September. I would hope you see that rate cut as we're down, though, which that could actually save us a little bit. And then that's really interesting what happens there. Probably nothing, though, but oh yeah, the blood oxygen. Yeah, they're gonna probably. Oh yeah, the new one's going to come out in a few months. The new iPhone 2 is going to come out. It's probably not we've kind of reached peak technology with that. It's all AI stuff now and, VR stuff. But, yeah. Anybody been following the rumors? There's supposed to be a new, I went to college, but I don't know if anything I did in college really helped me. It's hard to say with college, if it really helped me, be able to do this. Hard to say. I would say the thing with college, if you're asking the question, like, do you want to go to college or not? I mean, if it's something you really want to do, you probably should at least try it. You know what I mean? It's more about, like, do you want to go to college? Like, I think people who don't want to go to college probably shouldn't go to college. I think people who really, really want to go to college, they probably should go to college and at least try it. If they don't like it, they probably should stop going to college and try something else. I know it kind of sounds like common sense, but I feel like that's, don't overcomplicate things in life, Like, I feel like if you really like something and you're really, really into it, you're probably going to get more out of it than, if you don't like it, and maybe the loans or the money will be worth it. That's what I think. For me, I really wanted to go to college, but in hindsight, I probably could have, learned a lot of that stuff on my own and had equally as good experiences, probably traveling earlier, doing other things earlier, you know. I did it, I went to the University of Miami, as some of you guys probably know. I think it improved a lot of my social skills in some ways. I was on the TV station, I was on the debate team. It was fun, man. There was a lot of good things about it. I was kind of, somebody who studied quite a bit. I took it pretty seriously. I didn't go out and party that much. I did a little bit once in a while. The thing like that is kind of once you do it once or twice, it's the same as doing it 100 times. It's kind of the same thing every time. And I think you could kind of, especially in Miami, you could go to other places in the world that are so much cheaper and get more of what you want out of those things, if you kind of get my drift. America's a tough market for a lot of things, I'll tell you that much, compared to other places. So especially in terms of how much things cost too. So yeah. But I don't think traveling the world is for everyone. I think it's something you have to really want to do. I guess it depends where you go to. A big difference between, just traveling to somewhere like, I don't know, Mexico versus traveling to Asia. There's a lot of big differences. So yeah, let's see here. It's H bar. Let me look at H bar. Yeah, I think you should be able to keep generally going upward, eventually hitting these highs, and then maybe getting up to 90 cents. ApeCoin, yeah, let's look at ApeCoin. It's been pretty lackluster, yeah, in 61 cents. It looks like it can jump up. This thing, it just never fails to disappoint, though. We'll see what happens. I do think you can get a jump up to $1 relatively soon, then hopefully, $2 at some point, but that's to be seen. That's going to be huge too. I just think they will too. Yeah, based on some of these articles, makes you think they may pause, but it's not gonna. You'll see a rate cut. I think things will come down into the rate cut, so it'll be good, and it'll kind of help us out a bit. Maybe trigger a little bit of altcoin season in October, into end of year, maybe like a quarter four altcoin season. Maybe Bitcoin peaks in October, but then some alts kind of linger on in November, December, similar to 2017, 2018, that kind of market. So yeah. Anyway, guys, I'm going to get going. Really appreciate you guys tuning in. Special like button. Check out the exchanges down below if you guys are interested. I'll see you guys really soon. Stay safe out there. Goodbye.